wonderful scene here at Wrigley, and let's play ball. From 2 yards deep, Caden Weegan upended right as he got to the 25-yard line. LeSean Williams gets the carry on the first 2 plays of this game on offense. No surprise for the Hawkeyes, Kyle, and they'll face third down here coming up. Deacon Hill drops back to the shotgun. That's LeSean Williams right to his left. Third down 3. Double pumps, fires high and behind, and a late penalty marker comes in. Referee today is Ron Snodgrass, veteran in the Big Ten.
Interference. Defense, number 2. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Anytime you turn the receiver's body, it's an easy call for the official.
Deacon Hill bounce back opportunity here, Kyle, after he was just 10 out of 28 in the game against Minnesota. Little hole off the left side, and keeping his feet as he picked his way through it. That's LeSean Williams, already with 3 carries this afternoon, picks up 8 that time. LeSean Williams, busy man already, up the middle, not much there. He picks up 1, and Iowa will have third down and short coming up. You think about tight ends with Iowa, they have 3 on the field, but big quarterback here, Deacon Hill on the sneak. 6'3", 258 pounds, and he'll have enough for the first. It's about as big as you.
I would say Deacon Hill's built like a tight end.
Really had his confidence dip after that tough performance against Minnesota. Now he has Jazzy and Patterson lined up behind him. He gets his first carry, little hole off the right side, big hit. Just as he got inside of Northwestern territory on Patterson, he picks up 6 yards. That's Devin Turner with the tackle for Northwestern. Patterson remains in the game. Iowa will rotate 3 tailbacks, Johnson, Williams, and Patterson throughout the day. A little cutback at the line of scrimmage, and not a lot there. In the backfield was veteran linebacker Xander Mueller, Devin Turner there for the stop, Sean McLaughlin as well. Looking for his first completion, nice pocket, steps, fires, ball batted into the air, and another penalty marker comes in. After the contact, after the deflection, the pass was intended for Caleb Brown. Theron Johnson was the cornerback right on top of him.
Pass interference. Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Iowa had their best drive, their first drive against Minnesota as well. 11 plays, 70 yards. There's his first completion, flips it out to the left side. And Deontay Vines across the 35-yard line, short gain of 1. Always feels good for a quarterback to get that first completion, and now Hill has his first this afternoon. Delayed draw, Williams hit right when he got to that line of scrimmage. Iowa having a hard time finding room there right up the middle. 10th play of the drive finds Iowa third down and 7. 4-man rush. Hit right when he wanted to release the ball, fumbled. And just at that 40-yard line, it was knocked out by Jalen Pate. Wildcats defensive line comes up with a play on third down and 7. Iowa did recover, but the offense goes to the sideline.
Yeah, and this is something that we saw a lot in the loss to Minnesota before the bye week. Just his presence in the pocket, that clock has to go off in your mind. It's 1 hitch, it's 2 hitches. You got to know that defender's coming for the strip sack behind you where you can't see him, and this is exactly what Kirk Ferentz talked about. We could deal with the stat line, but we can't have the turnovers, and they were lucky to recover one there.
Now the ball's on the 39-yard line. The wind is blowing across their face here. Iowa is taking their time here. The play clock has gone down to 0.
Delayed game. Offense. The penalties decline. Fourth down.
Okay, so Torrey Taylor comes out, and as interim head coach David Braun knows very well, at times he has been the most valuable player, not just on the Iowa special teams, but this entire Iowa team. #1 in the Big Ten, 2-time Big Ten special teams player of the week, and you see that number just under 49 yards per punt. First one is up and away, and a fair catch called for by A.J. Henning.
You can see Brendan getting better with experience. A guy that started 4 games last year. This is his 4th start this year, and that's really starting to shine through on his tape.
Little pitch and catch to A.J. Henning, the Michigan transfer from the Chicagoland area. Gain of 1, and we'll see him a lot carry the ball around the end and also get those short passes, which are basically an extension of the run game. Loss of a yard brings up 2nd down 11. Little option pitch underhand there to the left side. That's Cam Porter, top running back for the Wildcats. 3rd down 8 here for Sullivan. From the pocket, steps up, in trouble, sacked. He's been sacked 12 times the last 2 games coming into this one. And on his first 3rd down, goes down for a loss of 8. Nick Jackson, the outside linebacker, got him. David Braun talked about limiting their opportunities against him, but they give him a shot here. DeJean's got some space inside of Northwestern territory and then some. Penalty flag does come in as DeJean is still moving inside the 15-yard line. About halfway on that big return, we saw the penalty come in.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 12. 10-yard penalty, 1st down. Timeout.
Boy, that has a lot of impact on the Big Ten West, that 4-team tie that we had all week. And when the day started, it's now a 2-team tie atop the Big Ten West, Iowa and Minnesota. Minnesota has the more direct path. If they win out, they are your Big Ten West champions. Little play action, Deacon Hill, open man at the 40. And this play starts, or this drive starts with a 1st down for the Iowa Hawkeyes. All by himself out there in the flat. Deshaun Williams, before he got to the line of scrimmage, stood up there at the 48-yard line. Xander Mueller, one of 2 veteran linebackers alongside Bryce Gallagher, was the first there. Williams lost 1 that time, 2nd down 11. Hill's already 2 for 2. Once and all. Incomplete, but another penalty marker comes in. That is the 3rd time already. The Wildcats will be called for pass interference against Deontay Vines. This time, it's Garnett Hollis Jr.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
When we talked to Brian Ferentz this week during our meetings, he mentioned to us over the bye week they were trying to find out who is this offense going to run through now. You know, they thought originally it was going to be Eric All and Luke Lachey, the tight ends. They're both out for the season with injuries. And Deontay Vines was a guy that he mentioned that they really worked hard this bye week to establish him as a go-to guy.
2nd time Iowa's been inside of Northwestern territory. Williams bounces it. Little cut back in. He's brought down just across the 35-yard line. Coco Azama, star safety here for Northwestern, brought it down. You got Wildcats and Hawkeye offensive linemen making plays in the backfield. They go right back to the ground. Deshaun Williams, nothing there. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long. Michael Kilbane, defensive tackle, making the stop after a gain of 2. And he gets the screen here and drilled right away, Zora, as he caught that screen. And Northwestern's front 7 has been winning quite a bit here. The wind is blowing from his left to right. This is from 53 yards out. His long this season, 53 yards earlier at home against Michigan State. Snap and hold are good. We'll see if it gets there. The distance is not an issue. And he doinks it off the left upright. 2 times Kirk Ferentz's offense has been inside of Wildcat territory. We are at Wrigley Field. First quarter, Northwestern's 2nd possession coming up here. No score. Cam Porter is the top rusher for Northwestern. He takes it right up the middle. Good start to this drive. for Brendan Sullivan and the Cats. Quinn Schulte, former walk-on safety for the Iowa Hawkeyes, makes the stop, but that's a gain of 8. Brendan Sullivan coming off career highs in passing, over 300 yards of total offense last week. Had that ball tipped and nearly intercepted. Tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Cooper DeJean got close to getting his hands on that one. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for Northwestern. Dwyer Black getting his hand on it. And Northwestern up the middle, then bouncing it out. That'll be enough for a 1st down for Cam Porter. Cooper DeJean makes the tackle. They fake it to Porter. Nice pocket for Sullivan. Dumps it out of the backfield to midfield. Jay Higgins there averages a dozen tackles per game in Big Ten games. In the 5 he's played, there's another one for him on Marshall Lang. And Mike Bajaki, and the offensive coordinator, raved about the example he sets with his efforts as he plays like a maniac.
And Marshall Lang leads by his example.
Early snap. Boy, what a mistake for Northwestern there. The ball goes right by Brendan Sullivan. Wasn't ready for it. And they had to go back and chase it down to the backfield to bring up 3rd down and long.
And Brendan Sullivan's not even looking for the snap here, and it's such a drive killer. You got 2nd and 5. He's looking to the sideline, maybe make an adjustment.
The last time in 3rd down and long, Sullivan was sacked. And this time he'll keep it himself. Did this very well. Big hit, though, by Higgins. He was solid at it last weekend against Maryland in the 33-27 win. Wampa was there, safety spot. Higgins in as well. Glad if they give Cooper DeJean a chance here, standing on his own 20. Had a 45-yard punt called back earlier this quarter, and this time you could see the intention to just punt that one out of bounds and don't give 3 a chance to bring it back. Haven't seen any points, Kyle, but they have twice. Now, they've had a lot of help from penalties. Both times they have been inside of Northwestern territory. Hill on the move with a completion across the 35 and out near the 40-yard line. One of his 3 side ends who will play today, Addison Ostrenga. Iowa 12 runs, 4 passes so far. Jazzy and Patterson up the middle. And as we saw throughout the 1st quarter, that's Northwestern's defense, the front 7 there to meet him and bring him down after a short game. Patterson, the tailback again, and again he's up the middle. And you'll see this from the Iowa offense and Brian Ferentz, the play caller. It may not work a few times in a row, but they will keep doing it. They'll continue to run up the middle. 1st and 10, toss sweep. Patterson almost broke that tackle and gets out to the 47-yard line. Aiden Hubbard, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week from his performance last week, keeps that to a gain of 5. And back to the air now, Deacon Hill, again rolling to his right. 2nd completion that way on this drive. This time it's a wide receiver, Deontay Vines. And the big quarterback at 6'3", 258 on the move for a gain of 8.
Sportsmanlike conduct, sideline interference, Northwestern, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, 1st down.
Meanwhile, the Iowa offense for the 3rd time inside of Northwestern territory. End around. Deontay Vines with it again across the 30 and tracked down as he got to the 34-yard line. So back-to-back plays for Vines. One side it's a catch, the other side an end around. And we have an injured Wildcat here. Still play action. Little shot to the end zone. Intercepted. Picked off by the Wildcats. A 50-50 ball sent the way of Nico Ragaini, and Theron Johnson, who had a pass interference call in the 1st quarter, responds with an INT here.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
See if his offense can get it going now. Brendan Sullivan, who ran for a career-high 56 yards last week, finds nothing there off the right side. Porter is wrapped up and in trouble off the left side to bring up 3rd down. Loss of one. Ethan Herkett there along with Logan Lee.
Got to find a little bit more creativity in the run game, because if you just run right at this Iowa defense, you're not going to gain much.
Tough spot for any quarterback against this Iowa defense. 3rd down and 11 from his own 5. Sullivan shoots one to the far sideline, misfires to Kurtz. And Iowa's defense, which is once again in the top 10 in points allowed, 3rd last year, 6th right now, sends the punt unit out, and that's a 3 and out. See if Cooper DeJean gets a shot here, low end over end. And he thought about it, but I'll just let that one bounce. And the Hawkeyes this time will begin inside of Northwestern territory. Now Iowa with their best start here, field position-wise. Deacon Hill sacked 2nd time here today. Had the double pump and hung on to the ball. Aiden Hubbard, Big Ten Player of the Week, defensively for 3 sacks last week, gets him for a loss of 5. 15, Hill in the air again. No, it's a delayed draw. Little space there for LeSean Williams. And a strong finish as he gets to the 40-yard line. Bryce Gallagher, the captain and middle linebacker, makes the stop after a gain of 10 to bring up 3rd down and 5. A lot of options available for Brian Ferentz here on 3rd and medium. They go over the middle, ball batted in the air. A lot of heat on that one as he wanted Seth Anderson. Rod Hurd, safety, was right there in coverage. Let's see what Iowa does here now on 4th down and 4. Looked like they considered it for a moment, Kyle. Now the offense jogs off.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine Iowa's going to play the field position game.
.332 left until then. Sullivan has struggled today. Completion out across the 20-yard line. And they find A.J. Henning, 2nd time he has got the ball. Second down 6. Tyus waiting and wrapped up. First one there, Joe Evans, the defensive end, and no gain. Pair of pass catchers to his left looking that way. The quick out. Too much out in front. He missed him. We do have a penalty marker that came into the backfield there right after Sullivan released it. He wanted A.J. Henning. Nice coverage from Quinn Schulte. And a meeting of 4 officials here. They'll let us know here about this penalty flag on the 20-yard line.
Personal foul, shot block, offense, number 65 and 27. Penalties decline, 4th down.
As a high spiraling punt, backing up to Jean. Late fair catch called just inside that 30-yard line. And the best punt yet, 48 yards. And no return. Hawkeyes back on offense, gain of 1 yard. Inside of 2 minutes now, LeSean Williams up the middle, and he loses a yard. See how many more times here now. Cooper DeJean will get his hands on the ball today. And 3rd down and 10. Deacon Hill, 6 out of 9, only 25 yards. Takes a shot here. Ragaini, a little bit too far out in front. He did have half a step on Rod Hurd. Would have taken a perfect pass. 1:01, the clock stopped until halftime. And say it with me, Kyle, here comes the punt team again.
They just got to win them.
Penalty marker comes out from the backfield here. Just as the punt came out from Torrey Taylor, takes an Iowa bounce. Both quarterbacks having the kind of afternoon you would expect. 0-0. Sullivan thrown for 8 yards. Deacon Hill is thrown for only 25.
On the defense lined up on the center. That penalty's declined. 1st down.
At moving the ball, they do have all 3 timeouts left. Okay, so he is going to go for it. Steps up. He's been sacked once and now twice. Sullivan brought down by Y.A. Black. 2 games ago, he struggled against Nebraska. Last week, he was terrific, and now back to struggling here again this afternoon. Only 8 total passing yards. Porter this time up the middle and out to the left side, just across the 25-yard line. Northwestern sideline wants a face mask, gain of 4. Sullivan quickly out of his hand. Henning, 25, across the 30 and shoved out of bounds. Clock stops, 36 seconds left. Punt is away, low sidewinding kick. And it won't make its way to DeJean, down at the 29-yard line. They're just going to have him take a knee. And you hear the Iowa fans with their reaction. They're going to leave that timeout. They're not going to use it. And they'll just go to the halftime locker room. Content with the tie score. Likely not happy.
2-0 and 3-0. So who knows? Maybe we see another shutout today. We'll see.
Northwestern's offense will be the first side to get a crack here. Beautiful afternoon in Wrigley, inside of 50 degrees. Hey, Zorit's a quarterback that last week had over 300 yards of total offense. He starts out 1 for 1 here. Joseph Hyman strung out as he tried to turn that one up. They love to get him the ball out of the backfield. First time they have done this afternoon. Sebastian Castro returning to the Chicagoland here. Keeps that to a gain of 1. Offensive or defensive coordinator and interim head coach David Braun is for that man right there, Brendan Sullivan, to return to what he did last week. He only had 15 yards of total offense and a good hole there initially for Cam Porter. Penalty marker comes in. But that's the ground game and the passing game for Sullivan. Only 15 yards in the first half, and we'll check in on this penalty. Would be a gain of 3.
Holding offense, number 87, 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Kyle, one of the reasons 0 points for Northwestern, they're already over their season average for penalties now.
Yeah, this is a team that's usually extremely disciplined, and we see the tight end here, Gordon, on the left side of the formation, and just you got to cut that defensive end off. It starts with your footwork.
What he did last week, he only had 15 yards of total offense and a good hole there initially for Cam Porter. Penalty marker comes in. But that's the ground game and the passing game for Sullivan. Only 15 yards in the first half, and we'll check in on this penalty. Would be a gain of 3.
Holding offense, number 87, 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Tough enough when it's not second and long. Sullivan trying to get something going in the ground game. And out to the left side, Jay Higgins, top tackler in the Big Ten, out there to finish him off.
Trying to make something positive happen. Then we have the penalty, and now it's 3rd and 18. Not where you want to be to try to convert it first third down in the second half.
And they thought they'd get just a little back, and they got a yard back, maybe 2. So they didn't turn it over with their first possession there the second half, Kyle, but that's about the best thing you can say about what Northwestern did on offense. Negative yards, and here comes the punt team once again. Logan Lee made that stop for Iowa.
With the 3rd and long, they're just not going to get against this Iowa defense.
Blocked! Punt is blocked! Right off the foot of Hunter Runner. Special teams coming up with a big play for the Hawkeyes. Well, getting a hand on it, that was an Iowa Hawkeye.
Yeah, Thompson's able to just get his big old paw over the wall there and block it.
Ontario Thompson, left hand on it. First down and 10, Hawkeyes on the 25 of Northwestern. Looking for the first points of this game. LeSean Williams, play action. Hill, first completion of the second half, just across the 20-yard line. Addison Ostrenga, the tight end. LeSean Williams. Oh, powerful finish there. Not a lot there initially, but it looks like he got just enough for a first down. He's right at the sticks And that is an Iowa first down. 7 for 11, 32 yards, modest numbers so far for the big quarterback. Right back to the ground game. Williams hitting the backfield, but gets inside the 10. Good individual effort. Gets him 5 yards. And the Hawkeyes will now be just inside the 10. Jazzy and Patterson in now on 2nd down 6. Ostrenga, short motion to the left of Hill. Patterson hits the hole and gets down to the 5-yard line. Not big chunks for the Iowa running game, but successful here to start the 3rd quarter. He gets 5 before Xander Mueller brings him down. Yeah, it looks like a quarterback sneak. Hayden Large, the big fullback behind him. He'll push that 6'3", 258-pound body inside the 5. And that'll come down to a mark. It looks from right here as they come toward our end zone. He got just enough, and yes, he did. Iowa with a block punt to start this 3rd quarter. Minnesota up 17-14 on Illinois right now. Inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Iowa moving in increments now thanks to the running game. Bryce Gallagher, the captain linebacker. Gain of 2. Play action. Rolling. Ostrenga. Touchdown, Iowa.
I was waiting for Brian Ferrix to dial it up. It's downhill run, downhill run, downhill run. All of a sudden, he pops the bootleg. Addison Ostrenga sneaks out from the front side of the formation. He's on the line of scrimmage. This is incredible. Oftentimes, you see the guy that's hiding back across the play lines up off the ball, and it tends to be a giveaway for the defense. He lines up on the line of scrimmage, pulls around almost as if he's a left tackle, a left guard. There's no one over there.
Drew Stevens, 7-0 Hawkeyes. Just saw that the Hawkeyes' first touchdown since the 2nd quarter of the last game against Minnesota. Now outside the pocket, Sullivan still looking. Defensive coordinator for Iowa, Phil Parker, said he's got a knack for escaping the rush and keeping his eyes downfield. Didn't get much there.
And I think we might start seeing him take off a little bit sooner here. Guys just really aren't getting that open.
Operating with some pace here now, Kyle. Cam Porter, the tailback. Here comes a blitz. Castro almost got home. Good job by Sullivan standing in. Little pitch and catch to the 35-yard line. He finds Cam Johnson for the Wildcat first down. We'll see if they can turn that into a little something now. Cam Porter cuts it back outside, then turns it up to the 40-yard line. Y.A. Black there with the stop after a gain of 4. First down and 10 now on the 48. Thought about the pass, but kicked it that time. Gets across the 45. Jay Higgins, top tackler in the Big Ten, with another stop. Arzora only with 4 total catches. Sullivan, quarterback draw, running it the entire way. Now inside of Iowa territory. Approaches the 45-yard line. Safety Xavier Wampa, one-time high school player of the year in the state of Iowa. And Sullivan's been slow to get up each of these last couple of plays. Wildcats converted 1 time on 3rd down in the first half. Nice pocket, low throw, and a good job going down to get that one. And yes, that was a catch. Cam Johnson. Well, we got a little discussion here. We'll take another look. This is Cam Johnson. Now Northwestern is on the ball now. First down and 10 from the 41 now. Now they stop the clock and they'll take a closer look at what we've been seeing here.
The field was a completed catch. The play's under further review. Timeout on the field. After further review, it's an incomplete pass. 4th down at the 47-yard line.
So we missed the very top of that, but Ron Snodgrass said that the call on the field, which was a completion, was reversed. Incomplete is the official call.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Care of this, running play off to the left side for Northwestern to get it started here. And the Wildcats begin the 4th quarter down 7-0. Jack Lausch, a former commit to Notre Dame. He's a backup quarterback they use kind of in a Taysom Hill kind of situation. He might run, he might throw, he might catch a pass. And touches the ball there for the first time, and he comes back to the huddle as well. Former Chicago Sun-Times high school player of the year here in Chicago. Good speed out to the left side. First 2 plays he's been in, back-to-back carries, picks up 2 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 5. Could use a play here on 3rd down and 4. Well, they give it to Tyus. Good cut back in the backfield. And Anthony Tyus 2 times on this drive, and the Northwestern sideline loves it. 2 times he has kept the drive going on 3rd down.
No, this is just a great effort by Anthony Tyus. He puts his foot in the ground. Like you said, you got Sebastian Castro one-on-one right there in the hole. Doesn't miss too many tackles, but I think that you got to give credit to Tyus there with the cut that he made.
Well, that's a nice job getting outside of trouble there, and as he approached Xavier Wampum across the 40-yard line, goes for a slide. And Joe Evans was in there on him, no gain. His side facing 2nd down 10 and a 7-0 deficit. Sullivan hands off, it's Tyus again. 6'1", 225, finishing forward out close to that 30-yard line. Gain of 8. And he has been the featured back here on this drive. Quinn Schulte eventually made the stop along with Harris. A 3 out of 11 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. And that's a hole up the middle to keep this drive going. Northwestern's running game, this time to Cam Porter, coming alive just enough here as the 3rd quarter turned into the 4th. Northwestern 1st and 10 and right back on the ball. This is the end zone where Iowa scored the only touchdown of the game in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and a great hole there as Cam Porter just gets downhill.
Operate with pace. Iowa's defense, though, ready. Jamari Harris, the cornerback, there to make the stop. Four-man rush. Sullivan, back foot, open man at the 20. And down to the 17-yard line is his back out of the backfield, Cam Porter. Sebastian Castro with the stop. We do have a penalty marker down. Down in the backfield.
Holding offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and now we're back 2nd and 17.
7 penalties now for 71 yards against Northwestern. Back to the air as Sullivan steps up to the sideline. Going down to get it is Cam Johnson. This would be a heck of a catch if it is indeed a catch, and they say yes it is. See if he catches this one. Would be a gain of 13. Gets the hands on it, pulls it in. That right
close.
knee. Well, Northwestern is right back on the ball. Looks like they're going to get this play off. So that is the catch there. Tyus right up the middle. That was 3rd down and 4. So they get the catch, but they don't get much there on 3rd down and short. And trailing by 7. Big decision here. They've not been this deep in Iowa territory much today. He gained 3 when he needed 4. The offense stays on the field. 4th down and 1. Sullivan has Tyus behind him. He's converted 3rd down twice on this drive. And he'll have a chance on 4th. Chase to the perimeter. And it looked like this is going to come down to a mark. He was escorted to the sideline. Outside linebacker Nick Jackson. They said, yes, that is a 1st down. He's had that kind of drive here that ended in the 3rd or carried into the 4th. 1st down and 10 now in the 13. Fake it. Sullivan boxed in, and Nick Jackson brings him down on the 12. 3 years at Virginia, the 1st year here in Iowa City, or playing in Iowa City for the Hawkeyes. Kirk Ferentz said he's been the perfect fit from the Cavaliers to the Hawkeyes and makes the play there. Sullivan. End zone. Contact. No flag. There it is. Penalty marker comes in late. Bryce Kurtz, the intended receiver, and Cooper DeJean with the early contact.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2 or 3, excuse me. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line, 1st down.
And here's Kurtz on the outside on Cooper DeJean. Just runs a really good in-cut, explosive move at the top. Just make contact right there on the goal line. Easy call for the official, setting up the Northwestern Wildcats.
From the 2. Cam Porter, the tailback in the I formation. Porter into the middle, down to the 1, and that's it. Porter still the tailback. Quarterback sneak. Initially didn't get there. Nick Jackson making sure that he still doesn't get there. 3rd and goal from inside the 1 coming up.
Looks like they're fixing some of the sod down there in the infield.
We were down there earlier. It was actually very good grass and turf. Sometimes when a baseball field gets converted to football, it's not quite so good, but this was high quality. They dug it up there on that quarterback sneak effort. Sullivan now facing 3rd down and goal, taking a long look to his sideline. Plenty of time, play clock only at 17. Phil Parker's defense has its work cut out for him here. Porter, drilled. Jay Higgins in there right away. #1 tackler in the Big Ten steps up, and it's now 4th and goal. Iowa waiting. Quarterback sneak. Sullivan, no surge, didn't get there. 4 shots from inside the 2, and Iowa's defense comes through. Inside the 1, they went with the quarterback sneak. It didn't get there.
No, I would have loved to see Northwestern do something similar to they did earlier on the drive on 4th down, where they fake the quarterback sneak, they line up for the tush push, and then pitch the ball on the edge. Just love to see your playmaker like Cam Porter get a chance to get that ball out in space.
Back-to-back quarterback sneaks. Deacon Hill, 6'3", 258, didn't get a whole lot, just beyond the 1. Clock ticking now inside of 6:30. Iowa with the 1 touchdown that came in the 3rd quarter. And the field, based off of all that happened right there at that spot, they spent the entire timeout working on it. You see that they were trying to fill it back in with dirt, but it is a soft, torn-up mess. And this is what happened during the break. They're trying to make it a little more playable, and they're right back on that spot now. And the linemen on both sides having a hard time getting their footing. Wow, look at how deep that is. My goodness. They'll continue to work. That spot got the wrong end of Iowa's goal line stand here moments ago. They spent the entire timeout again fixing it, trying to fill it in and make it playable. 3rd consecutive play we've seen a quarterback sneak, and that's easily the best one. Deacon Hill tried it up the middle and slipped out to the left. Picks up a couple of Hayden Large, the fullback / tight end, coming in there, and that comes up every single time. Just gets deeper and deeper every time out. They'll try and make that a little more playable. That spot continues to get dug up and go deeper and deeper. They've fixed it 4 times now. And this is 3rd down for the Hawkeyes. LeSean Williams, patience right away. A little burst out to the 8-yard line. Needed more than that on 3rd down. Picked up 5. And we have an injured Hawkeye down on the 5-yard line. Winds gusting around 15 miles per hour from his left to right. That's A.J. Henning right there, back to receive for Northwestern. Northwestern playing for the return. Another poor punt by Taylor. And Henning going to give Northwestern excellent field position. Nice spin move at the end. And he fielded that on the run and sprinted inside the 30-yard line. And Northwestern, they get the hold on defense. Iowa punted from its own end zone. And a return, a punt of 37 yards. And A.J. Henning with a big return for the Wildcats.
Yeah, not the best punt. A.J. Henning's able to catch that punt running forward. Already good field position. Turns that punt return into a bubble screen. He's catching it, running downhill. Makes a great move, and here's Northwestern knocking on the door again.
22-yard return, 1st down and 10 on the 22-yard line of Iowa. Just like that, Northwestern right back in business. They start with the ground game, a little side shift across the 20-yard line for Tyus. Gains 4 yards. They'll have 3 games left after this one. A lot of business for the defense to tend to, and Ethan Herkett steps up and gets it done. Deontay Craig, defensive end, there to make the stop. And Northwestern with the big punt return. That was a no gain. Now they face 3rd down and 5. Empty backfield on 3rd and 5. Sullivan only has 49 yards passing, double pumps. Eyes downfield. Lets it go, complete to the 12-yard line right before he went out of bounds. That's Bryce Kurtz, top receiver here. 2nd catch today, gets him 6. Sullivan steps up. He can go inside the 10, inside the 5 as well. Joe Evans eventually made the stop, but Sullivan made it down to the 4 after a gain of 7. Northwestern does not have to score to get a 1st down. Just to the 1-yard line. Sullivan running again. And he was wrapped up before he got to the 5. That'll be a loss. Cooper DeJean, the quarterback, was the first one there. Sullivan lets it go. End zone. Touchdown, Cam Johnson.
This is a great play design by Mike Bajakin. He's got 3 tight ends out on the field. They line up in a tight formation. Shift out of the tight formation. We called it explode motion. Ends up into a spread formation. Iowa's got all their big defenders on the field. Able to dial up a huge play. Score potentially the game-tying touchdown with the PAT here.
Potential game tire coming from Jack Olson here. As he awaits the snap, there's the hold. And we are all tied at 7. Just caught one in the end zone, and we are all locked up at 7. And from the 20-yard line, Max White. Not much of a chance there. Big hit. Here comes Deacon Hill. Nico Ragaini finds a little lane back toward the middle. 6th-year senior, 11th career catch against the Wildcats. .121 left. LeSean Williams up the middle. And that's a 1st down. So strategy here for Iowa. 3 timeouts left. Drew Stevens, not a lot of wind out there. His career long is 53.
You know, we're letting it tick off here as we're under a minute. They haven't used a timeout yet.
Iowa needs about 25 yards here to get into his range. Nice pocket there for Hill. Throws his best pass of the day. Down inside the 40. Inside of Wildcat territory. And that's Caleb Brown, his first catch of the season for 23 yards.
And to stop the clock with the 1st down.
Field goal from right here would be from 55 yards out. Stevens' career long 53. LeSean Williams wants to get as close as he can. 29, 28 seconds. And now the whistles blow. It stops at 27. And they do have 2 timeouts left. LeSean Williams, hesitation. Not a lot there going up the middle. 24 seconds, clock stops. Picked up 2. Drew Stevens knows what's coming, and everyone here inside the friendly confines knows what's coming as well. Iowa has 3rd down and 7. LeSean Williams. Again, Northwestern's defense stout right up the middle. Clock stops with 19 seconds left. Kenny Soares, the outside linebacker, was there first. And after that big pass play to Caleb Brown, Iowa's offense didn't get much more. 4th down coming up, ball in the 35. It's still whipping a little bit, and it's from his left to right. Little bit in his face, and also could push the ball to his right. From the middle of the field. Drew Stevens from 52 yards out. Career long is 53. Stevens' attempt is up, and it is good. 14 seconds left. Iowa leads 10-7. The formula for Iowa in the second half has been textbook. A lot of defense that included a goal line stand. Special teams with a blocked punt to allow the only touchdown for the Hawkeyes. And Drew Stevens just comes through with a 52-yard field goal. 14 seconds left and down 3. And Stevens kicks it the other way, and they'll just let that one bounce in the end zone with 14 seconds left and see what they can do. Northwestern 1 timeout left. As for their kicker, Jack Olson, was 4 for 4 last week. His career long, 47 yards.
There's 3 DBs right across the 50-yard line, 30 yards deep. They're just going to keep everything in front of them, make Northwestern use that last timeout and make the tackle.
Sullivan over the middle, strike. 8 seconds. Clock will stop momentarily. They're not going to use a timeout. That was Bryce Kurtz. So now Sullivan will kill the clock after a gain of 18 yards. 6 seconds left. That took 2 seconds to snap it and kill it.
Say with 8 seconds, 2 seconds is a big deal. Well, they still have their timeout, so you can get 2, but it needs to be something quick. And you got to get down. You can't run this down situation. You got to get down and call the timeout.
Sullivan lets that one go to the sideline, throws it away. 1 second left, and that did not come off the clock. Thought it might, but it stayed stuck on 1. And now it'll all come down to this.
Yeah, and in this situation, you're probably just out of Hail Mary range. So it should be where we see a completion and then the laterals begin. The general rule here is you don't want to be the one that gets tackled with the ball at the end of the game.
Iowa has 3 DBs, 50 yards off the ball. Little flip there. It's complete to Henning. Jamari Harris ends it. The Iowa Hawkeyes with lots of defense, plenty of special teams, and a little bit of offense push Kirk Ferentz to 7-2 overall, 4-2 in the Big Ten.